Statistics. Look to the person to the right of you, then look to the person to the left of you. On an average, someone is killed by a drunk driver every 40 minutes. In 2005, 2,035 people were killed in the age group of 15 to 20 years old. That was from the result of drunk driving. Traffic crashes are the #1 killer of teens. 31% are related to drunk driving. In 2007, an estimated 12,998 people died in related drunk driving accidents. A 2008 study found that young adults aged 18 to 22 that were enrolled in college by a rate of 63.7 were more likely to binge drink and drank heavily. Nearly 48% of all the alcohol consumed by students attending college is consumed by underage students. When you are drunk, you are unstable. Everything is either going too fast or too slow. There are people that don't realize that alcohol is a drug. It impairs your ability to react, especially if you're going to get into a car and you're going to avoid an accident. If you are driving and your BAC, blood alcohol content, is 0.08, you are considered drunk. Also, if you are at 0.02, you are considered buzzed. And that is still dangerous because it still affects your response to react. Even if you are caught walking and you are drunk or buzzed, you can be fined and asked to appear before a judge. If you get into a police car, you will be fingerprinted and fined, and if you're under your parents' car insurance, that insurance will go up. Or if the time comes that you have to get your own insurance, you will have a hard time finding an insurance company that will accept you, and if they do, it will be at a high premium. Some of you may be thinking about going to college, but whether you are thinking about college or not once you graduate from high school, you will be looking for a job. If you have a record, this is something that you can't sweep under a rug. It will come back to haunt you. It won't look very nice on your job application that you have a record for drinking and driving. When you get to be the age of 21, drink responsibly. Remember, the time to pick a designated driver is before the celebration starts. A designated driver is not the one that drank the least amount of beers or is the least drunk. He is the responsible person that will take everyone home safely. My name is Aida Acevedo. I am the mother of Jorge. Most called him George. Those that knew and loved him called him JR. I have become a messenger for him because I don't want what happened to JR to just be a statistic. I want people young and old to learn from what happened to him. In order to know and feel what happened to my family, I have to give you a short background of my family and I. I had 2 children, Nikki and JR. I had very bad pregnancies. Each time I had a baby, the doctors would ask my husband, which would he choose? We were very lucky. We had 2 healthy babies. My husband and I loved kids. We wanted at least 4, but the doctors warned us, no more children. We took the doctor's advice and we loved our kids so much, nothing could make us happier. I would come home from work and Nikki had the house clean and JR had food ready. We were one big happy family. We always knew that Nikki was going to attend college and be a teacher, but JR, we weren't quite sure yet. JR had worked at 2 restaurants. At the River Edge, he was a server, but at Chef Allen's, he was the pizza boy. He got his orders and he made his different pizzas. If you ever seen Chef Allen's restaurant, the pizza oven is out in the open. JR loved it so much, he felt he was his own owner. His sister was in college, and with his senior year approaching, he knew he had to start thinking seriously about his future. JR came to me that July 2003, for that light bulb had turned on in his head. "Mom," he said, with such intensity and yet a grin on his face, "I want to go to culinary school. I want to be known as Chef George, and I want to have a restaurant just like Chef Allen's." That July, we started to look at the different schools available. The day started like any other day. When I got home from work, dinner was done. Nikki and JR had their shirts and black aprons on. JR was acting funny, and Nikki and I were laughing as they both were running out the door. "Have a good day," I said. It was a Wednesday night, and Nikki had come home from the restaurant. They had too many waitresses, and they had let her come home. There was a party down the street, and Nikki was asking for permission to go. I was busy cleaning the pool, but I said, "Well, they've worked hard all summer and they really haven't spent much time with their friends." So I decided to let them go. JR had been saving money for a new car stereo. The stereo in his car didn't work that well. At the party, he met up with his friend Nick. He was talking to him about the stereo he was going to get when Keith overheard the conversation. He was telling JR how he had to check out Adam's car. Adam had just gotten a brand new car, a gift from his parents. Keith said to Adam, "Give me the keys to let JR hear the stereo." But as Keith and JR got closer to Adam's car, Keith said, "I'm going to take it for a ride." Adam knew that Keith had been drinking, but still, he let him have the keys to his brand new car. Keith was Matt's close friend, but Matt lived at the beginning of River Road. If you've ever been on River Road for a while, you know that the road is a winding road. Later, the police would show us how the river went from side to side, nearly missing trees, until the car struck a tree, bringing the tree down. That blow killed JR. The car landed half on land and half in the river. Keith was so drunk, he got out of the car and went to the passenger side, put JR on the back of the river. Keith found his way back to the river road, but he had to flag down the car, and they called the police. When the police got there, according to their report, they could barely understand what happened to Keith. He wasn't hurt in any way, but he was very drunk. He even told the policeman that he was drunk. The police finally put together that Keith was driving a car and that it was near the river. It was dark, but the police started checking the area, and they found the car and JR laying at the back of the river. The coroner told us that no drugs or alcohol were in JR's system. Remember, I said you are considered drunk at 0.08. Keith was 0.13. Keith went to jail But who cares? JR is not here. And that is something that me and my family will always have to deal with. Remember the phrase, don't drink and drive? Friends, don't let friends drive drunk. Don't get into a car with someone that has been drinking. Don't be a victim. Be part of the solution, for the life you save may be your own.